Many times in life, when we wake up in the morning, we get ready, wear our shoes, pack our bag with our laptops, and get to work. We're faced with always a challenge of making decisions, and not just any decision. It's always trying to make the right decision. You see, we always want to get it right the first in all that we do. We always want to get it right the first time in everything that we do. But you and I know that's not easy. It's hard and it's almost impossible. But how about I give you a framework that can help you actually to always try to get to the right decision the first time. It's not magic, but it actually help you think through whatever you want to do or whatever decision that you're trying to make, and basically try to get you to a point where you're comfortable with your decision. So let's get started. You see, great decisions are generally made from a consideration of getting viewpoints from different directions. While consensus building should not be your goal, it's very important to actually seek consensus from or get different views from different people, especially as experts in that field who can give you sort of perspective from different points, so that you can be able to make smart decisions. Because most of the time, any great leader or any person actually does not have the total knowledge in terms of the area that they're trying to make a decision. And therefore it's imperative actually to listen to your colleagues, listen to their viewpoints, listen to the pros and the cons. And this can be able to actually help you in terms of coming up with a good conclusion, something that you're comfortable with. So one of the critical points I'll summarize here is that you should always try to get viewpoints from different people. So another point that is so important is for you to understand that great decision is always getting the right balance between long-term view and short-term view. This you get from experience, and I will always advise my friends on how to do this. Basically, you need to, when always trying to make a decision, is on one side you can try to list the short-term view impact of the decision that you're about to make and the long-term view of the decision that you're about to make. Now, it's always tricky to get the balance right. This is something that you will gain over time in terms of experience. But I would always urge you, when you're always trying to come up with a decision, is having a look at your long-term versus short-term view, trying to combine and getting the middle point of where you think you can unlock the true value of your business or of the true value of your decision that you're about to make. You see, many leaders procrastinate in terms of making a decision, and basically you have the fear of making the wrong decision or making the decision that is very unpopular. And another challenge is that also because you are worried, are you making the decision at the right time? Is it too early? Is it too late? Do you need more information? And I think one of the things that you should try to hammer in terms of trying to make a decision is trying to ask yourself, do you have information at this particular time to make the right decision? Have you consulted your friends? Have you thought about, can you wait basically another few weeks? Is it the right time for the market to make the right decision if you're operating, for example, a company that is in the stock exchange? So because always remember that timing is such an important criteria or such an important thing when you're trying to make a decision. And I think for timing is something that you should always aim to get it right. Obviously, I'm saying something that is quite impossible or not tough to do, but I would urge you that always sort of have three timelines. Worst case scenario, you have the best case scenario in terms of time, and you have kind of a middle time, and kind of trying to weigh between the 3 points. What to you is the right timing to make this decision? You may get it right, you may be lucky, but having over time, you'll sort of understand yourself, understand your company, understand what timing works for you, especially when you're trying to make, because it's almost like timing when you're trying to hit a bird. For example, you always have to time the flight of the bird with a projection of your stone to be able to hit the bird. So it's something that you perfect over time. So another thing to think about is trying to understand your point from a holistic perspective. And here's the best way to do it, basically, is to try to build what if scenario, because what if scenario will enable you to look at different cases that can occur, or different possibilities depending on what decision you may make. And if you're able to actually come up with a number of what if scenario, it's kind of sometimes thinking about being negative or being self-critical. What if I made this decision this way? What if I did this? What if I did this? What about this? And this kind of helps you to mitigate risk, and in terms of the decision that you're about to take, and that will basically help you to outweigh, if I take this decision, then there's a great probability that I will be making the right decision. I guess the other questions that you should always ask yourself is, from all the information that you're getting, is, are you addressing the root cause, or you're just basically trying to solve the symptoms? It's basically trying to a good example is when you're sick, when you have a headache or your stomach ache, you can take paracetamol to solve the headache or your stomach ache. However, I think as doctor's advice is, are you really trying to get to the root cause of your headache? Because a headache or a stomach ache generally is a symptom of something. So if you're able to actually ask yourself, from all the information that I'm getting right now, am I actually addressing a symptom, or am I addressing a root cause? Because that then can be able to give you the tools to be able to make the right decision, to hammer the point on the nail head. Finally, I think sometimes you don't, the decision in terms of the right decision sometimes lies within your employees or your colleagues, anywhere within the chain of your company. And it could be the people that are actually where the action is happening. For example, if you're working in a factory floor, the right decision, or the right decision could actually be with a person who is helping you package your product, or even your watchman or your security. So it's always good to actually talk to them and getting their view of point. At the end of the day, when you actually use their point to make the right decision, always remember to give credit wherever it's due. So yeah, those are the 7 points, or 7 questions, or 7 things that you should always ask yourself to be able to make the right decision, or a good decision for your company or for your life, or whatever you're thinking of. Let me know in the comments below what you always think about, or what questions you always think about as well when you're trying to make a right decision. Hope to see you in the next video, and always thank you for your support, and yeah, take care. Cheers, bye.